Had a 8 or 9 month break here since the last race. Tell us how your race went.
It was pretty good. I didn't really know what to expect. The car was, I mean, it was really good. It started to get better and better, but early when it was really hammered down, it was constantly picking a left front up and it was bouncing. So that kind of worried me. But once we started to, run it in a little bit more and blow it off, it kind of settled down and the car felt really good, and then from there it was just kind of I didn't know where I wanted to be or where I needed to be, but I knew that the slider line in Knoxville always, you can never go wrong with it. So I was gonna do that and go until I seen something else or somebody showed me something else, and we just lucked into this one.
I don't think luck had anything to do with walking the dog to an 8.6-second win over second place of Rod Merritt's. So I definitely think this one was a little more than luck here. I'm sure as you were in the car, as the laps were winding down, you were just hoping not to see the yellow flag.
Yeah, for sure. The yellow flag was would not be my best friend, and I was praying for no yellow flag, and then I also started to see once I got to like Nolan and Barr, and I started seeing Todd Champ and Chad, and I didn't want a yellow, but I wanted the race to be over because I didn't want to approach it because I didn't know where I wanted to be or where I needed to go.
Yeah, with only leaving 6 cars on the lead lap. So definitely a very strong run here for you as the defending champion of the super late model series here, brought to us by Harrison Brothers Welding and Fabrication. So who do you got to thank?
I'd like to thank Chad and Tyler Rucci for putting us on week in and week out, and for you, Dad, and Kevin for announcing us and giving us something to watch throughout the week, and study and just have something to do throughout the week to watch back to try to prepare yourself for the next week coming, and then all the sponsors that support the cautions and the hot pits and the one lap to go and through all the divisions, and just everybody that comes out and supports us every week. And last year my girlfriend gave me heck because I didn't thank her, so I got to thank my girlfriend Jaden for letting me do this.
All right. Well, definitely congratulations on another strong run here for you.
Thank you.
So we'll look forward to seeing you guys here next week. I do believe the super late models will flip and go from last to first on the card, followed by the big block modifieds and the pro late model series. So we'll look forward to seeing you guys do this again here in a week.
Yeah, we look forward to it, and we'll see you guys next week.
Well, it looks like we didn't get second place or third place up here. Have the opportunity to come up and tell us about the race. Thank our sponsors, but must be down there checking air pressures and things like that, or taking care of some pit business. But so the first week one here at Knoxville in the books for the Harrison Brothers Welding and Fabrication. 54 of Nick Anderson picking up where he left off. The feature win. Appreciate everybody that got on YouTube and checked us out and left some comments. So I believe until next week, back here with super late models at Knoxville, and we'll see you then. Welcome back. Week number 2. Harrison Brothers Welding and Fabrication late models kicking off the evening for us. Back at Knoxville for 60 laps tonight. Quick test session up. Drivers out there checking the track out, making adjustments, see what they want to do here for their qualifying attempts and heat races. Nick Anderson at the leaderboard right now. Quick time 16.879. Mitch Stiles. Mitch wasn't with us last week, I don't believe. Mitch had some, I think he was at work or something, right? Mitch wasn't here last week.
Yeah, he wasn't able to make it. I don't remember what was going on. But he's already, to be able to, his first night out here with us, to be right up there, not far off of the other 54. Who definitely walked the dog on the field last week. So we'll have to see if him starting from the back helps the rest of this field out or not.
So far tonight we have registered, as we mentioned, Nick Anderson, Mitch Stiles, Michael Lake, Chad Ruggie, Rod Merritts, Daniel Collins, Blaze Harrison, Austin Barr, Nolan Anderson, and Tyler Ruggie.
We're looking at 10 so far. I believe if everybody shows up, we have 13 drivers in the super late model division.
Yeah, I do know that we got a scratch from Todd Champ here just a little bit ago. But nonetheless, week number 2, Knoxville for 60 laps tonight. Got about just a little over 5 minutes remaining in the test session here. I'd like to thank our class sponsor, Harrison Brothers Welding and Fabrication. Also, you'll hear from Oval Track Specialties, sponsor of our cautions. Hot Pit, sponsored by Elevated Outdoors. Hard Charger of the race, which will be for each race, Newcomb Automotive. Victory Lane, sponsored by Backroad Powder Coating. The White Flag One to Go, sponsored by Spiel Racing Designs.
Yep, and not sponsors for these classes, but also gotta always shout out our Highline Designs, our title sponsor for the ProLate division, and KDJ Etch Designs for our big block modifieds. We'll see those 2 classes here later this evening.
As we talked at the beginning of the broadcast, Nick Anderson, Mitch Stile, both in 54. Only 2 cars broke down into the 16-second bracket tonight. Everybody else in that 7-second mark.
Yeah, those 2 are 7/1000ths of a second. Their quick time off of each other. 16.879 to an 8.86.
Right. Yep. Quite exciting to get another car, if we can go by these times anyway in the test session here, to get another car up front. Give Nick Anderson a run for his money, maybe. That's what everybody's shooting for. We talked about last year a little bit. The start of this season, everybody aiming for that 54 car. So nice to see Mitch Stiles with us this week, and definitely right on the coattails of the 54 of Anderson.
If that's the case, though, these drivers might have a little bit of PTSD seeing the number 54. If Mitch is able to keep the speed like what Nick showed last week, so we'll see. It's one thing to be quick in hot laps, It's another to be able to maintain that speed and be consistent in the feature once the track starts to slick off. So
Oh, for sure. Right now, as you mentioned, the track, tons of grip. Hammer down, just keep it off the wall, in between the walls. See the kind of speed you can come up with for sure. Said once we slick off, 60 laps tonight, so see how everybody did in their setups and throttle control here later on, and yeah, a whole different ball game here. But
I definitely think quite a few of these cars, even just in hot laps, that are definitely went with a little bit tighter of a setup. You see these cars a little more straightened out rather than the big yaw that we sometimes see with these super late models.
sure, absolutely.
So we'll see if that'll help keep the traction, keep the car going in the right direction, and
Sure, absolutely. We're talking, just like in real life, how do you want your car to feel? I've driven a couple of Nick Anderson's setups that he's helped me with, and it's not even something I would consider. I can't do it. That's I know he was helping brother Nolan a little bit here down in the
you've
shop.
got to be careful helping Nolan now. now that he's in the same class rather than beating up on the rest of us in the pro late models.
Sure. But yeah, Nick helping Nolan out, and I'm just anxious to see what that actually does for him, because I really don't believe Nolan's driving style anything near what Nick does. So
Nick definitely prefers the tighter setup. Prefers to keep the car straight, and Nolan quite opposite. He's always one that, even last year, following in behind him in the pro late model, the rest of us have our cars fairly straight, and he's hanging it high, wide, and handsome. And
for sure, partially, probably a little bit more than partially why he got that tire frame nickname, or tire fryer nickname.
we'll have to see.
Tires out there doing that, but it's just how he's comfortable. But see how that plays out for him tonight.
Trying to see here how much longer we have in practice.
You have 4 seconds. 4
Oh,
seconds.
perfect.
Yeah. So that'll do it for our test session. Checkered flag out. As we mentioned earlier, Nick Anderson fast time holds on to that 16.879. Mitch Stiles close behind with a 16.886. Michael Lake 17.007. Chad Rugy 17.02. Austin Barr 17.12 for Dana Collins.
I'll tell you what, looking at the heat race, this first heat race is one heck of a matchup. We've got the 254s on the front row. Mitch Stiles actually will start on the pole. Outside of him will be Nick Anderson. Looks like row 2 is going to have 27 of Michael Lake, the 94 of Chad Rugy, and shotgun on the field will be the 15 of Austin Barr. So talk about trial by fire for Mitch. He's getting thrown in with the wolves right away with two of our most competitive drivers last year
Absolutely.
with Nick and Michael. This might be a preview of what we're going to see in the feature. We'll see if Michael Lake can avoid getting caught up in calamity like he did last week. He had some early problems, battled a pretty heavily damaged race car, and finished a couple laps down, and that's definitely not something we're used to seeing from the 27.
Yep. Well, I know we're in week 2, but like we said, Mitch Stiles unable to make it last week, so this is Mitch's maiden voyage here with the Instigators League, and start on the pole in Heat Race 1 tonight. Might as well just get thrown right into it. So
yeah, really.
And
Out of
you mentioned the competitors he's in here with, so yes, he's welcome to the Instigators, Mitch.
Yeah, welcome to Super Late Models. Making their way through 3 and 4 here now. Pace truck should duck off here. Green flag is at the ready.
Green flag, green flag.
The gate
And
is
they're
out.
off.
We're underway. Nick Anderson, Mitch Stiles. Nick Anderson on the high line. Mitch Stiles down running the lower side of the track. Chad Rugy now contesting for that second place spot on the high side. Gets around 54 of Mitch Stiles. Chad will tuck up on the back of the 54 of Anderson. 8 laps to distance here as our heat races.
Looks like didn't quite get as many laps on the track this week as we did last week. It still looks like it's pretty heavy hammer down for the most part. See a lot of guys just following the leader.
Yeah.
Outside of the move we saw from Chad Rugy around the outside.
Chad Rugy gets a little piece of the wall there with the right rear quarter panel, no harm, no foul, and keeps a hold of that second position. But that's just how hard they're pushing right now is just a little over halfway here in our heat race. Nick Anderson continues to lead the way. Chad Rugy not losing any ground on that form. Anderson for sure. Anderson way down to the bottom.
Last lap, everybody's times. Ooh.
Comes Chad
Mick Stiles. Oh, Mick Stiles got up in the wall. Must have broke the right front. He goes hard into the outside wall. Yep, definitely got a broken right front there, and late model looking more like it belongs in the KDJH designed big block modifieds. I was just getting ready to say lap times were pretty well right on top of each other with everybody.
Just as Mitch did that, Chad Rugy was putting a ton of pressure on the leader, Nick Anderson. Nick got down there in the bottom, hit that inside berm, and scraped a bunch of speed off. And Chad Rugy just made up tons of real estate there. But now we see Nick Anderson got everything back underneath him, and about I don't know, 7-car length lead here.
All right, and he will take the checker in heat race number 1 here.
Chad Rugy finishing in the second position, followed by Michael Lake, Austin Barr, and Mitch Stiles rounding out top.
All right. Looks like heat number 2 is rolling to the staging area. Why don't you go ahead and run us through the lineup of this one here?
Let me get there. Heat race number 2, we'll see the 96 of Tyler Rugy starting on the pin. Outside of Tyler, the 728, Nolan Anderson. Rodney Merritt's will be starting in the inside second row in the 66 car. On the outside of Rod will be the 25 of Blaze Harrison. And rounding out the field in the number 26, Daniel Collins. Cars now out onto the speedway. Talked a little bit earlier about Nolan getting a little setup advice from brother Nick, and get an opportunity here, start on the outside of the first row here in heat number 2 to see how that fits him. Or for all I know, he may have scrapped the whole thing and back to his setup. But
I just noticed we're missing the 25 of Blaze Harrison.
Blaze Harrison not able to grid up in time. Looks like Blaze will oh, he is out there, isn't he?
Oh yeah, he's there. He just He's
Blaze Harrison having a little bit of technical difficulties. I do apologize. He is out on the speedway, but not sure if that's gonna be able to stay that way or not.
his car
Pace
ducks
truck.
off.
Green, green, green.
Flag out. Nolan Anderson, Tyler Ruggie, heat race number 2. Nolan Anderson not with a great start there. Rodney Merritt's able to pull up into that second position. Rodney Merritt throws her down low. A little bit of contact with our leader, Tyler Ruggie. Everybody holds her straight. Rodney Merritt takes over the lead there with a little bit of contact.
Nothing uncommon between the two of those. I do recall an incident at Lucas Oil last year where they came out in matching paint schemes. One was the 66, one was the 96. Good old, who did that back in the day in NASCAR? Somebody ran like an Earnhardt style car.
I'm not sure.
Looks like we got a couple different lines working here. Rod Merritt's running the high side. Tyler tried making something happen there on the low side. We got Daniel Collins and Nolan Anderson didn't fall back to that 4th place position. Looks like Blaze Harrison is still having connection problems. iracing throwing that connection black flag and booting him back to the pits each time he tries to come back out.
That's something Blaze can get worked out here. Time to good for a feature. Went single file here with our 4 cars in heat race number 2. Rodney Merritt opens up to 7-8 car length lead over second place Tyler Ruggie. Daniel Collins, good 4 or 5 car lengths behind. Rounding out the field, we talked about Nolan Anderson. Nolan's rookie here in the superlate and all division. Lots to learn, and big changes with horsepower and setups and things like that. So Nolan Anderson rounding out the field here in the 4th position. Should be working on the white flag lap here.
Like our statistician got us that was Neil Bonnet that decided to roll out a black car similar to the Goodwrench scheme of Earnhardt back in the day.
Everybody has an opportunity to hit the track here real quick, turn a few laps. Meanwhile, they're all in the pit, adding or subtracting some air, making some adjustments to the cars, whatever they want to do. Put their special setup in the car here for 60 laps at Knoxville. Momentarily, we'll get the starting grid for our super late model feature, sponsored by Harrison Brothers Welding and Fabrication.
One thing I will have to double check on is I can't remember if this year, if the prior week's winner still drops back to 6th, or if they drop back to the tail.
All the way to the tail this year.
Okay, that's what I thought.
10 cars, 15 cars. I mean, I think that's something we may revisit once we get the opportunity to build the fields back up, being as we split off into 3 divisions this year. That was a rule change from last year that all feature winners will be starting tail the field in all 3 classes this year.
I thought that was the case, but I couldn't remember for certain. So scheduled to start on the pole, but in that case, we'll drop back to the 10th place position. Will be last week's winner of Nick Anderson. So I believe that'll move the 94 of Chad Ruggie to the pole.
I believe they're just going to move that inside line up. I believe. So we'll just go down through the starting lineup here as you're going to see it on your screen here. But after they take green, or after they get out on the track. Like we said, Nick Anderson will be falling back into that 10th position, but scheduled to start in the pole will be the 54 of Nick Anderson. Outside of him with the 66 of Rod Merritts.
Inside row number 2 will be the 94 of Chad Ruggie. To his outside will be the 96 of Tyler Ruggie.
Inside row 3 will be the 27 of Michael Lake. Outside of Michael in the 26 car, Daniel Collins.
Inside our next row will be the 15 of Austin Barr. On his outside, the 728 of Nolan Anderson.
In the 54 car, Mitch Stiles. Rounding out the field in the 25 car, Blaze Harrison. Blaze Harrison doesn't look like he was able to grid. Was having some connection issues there in the heat race, as we mentioned. Tough break for Blaze.
It looks like he's not shown up on the stream, but scoring is showing him on track in that 10th place position, just with a very poor connection. I have a feeling it's going to do the same thing it did at the heat race, and it's going to send him back to the pits.
Green flag.
As green flag is in the air.
Chad Ruggie takes that early lead, followed closely Rodney Merritt's Michael Lake, right on the back spoiler of that 94 car.
Like, so I'm not going to say it this week.
Nope.
I said something last week, and
last week.
Anybody. So
As soon as you said it last week, I said, you said it. You said it. It wasn't 5 seconds later. Ooh, Tyler Ruggie. Oh!
I didn't say it this time.
Nope.
Tyler Ruggie's on the wall.
Yellow
The
flag.
yellow is out here on lap 2. Tyler Ruggie looked like he get back here. They went 3 wide there momentarily. No contact. Clean pass there. And I don't see any contact with, Tyler just got in there hot and heavy. Nick Anderson did catch a piece of that 96 car as he went by, so anxious to see what kind of damage each one of these cars picked up there.
There might have been a touch of net code there between Daniel Collins and Tyler Ruggie. Looks like it, the way that front of that 96 car jumped out, it definitely looks like he got a little bit of damage, and then he caught the right rear of Nick Anderson going by, so he will bring out our first oval track specialties caution of the night and hit the elevated outdoors hot pit to try and get some of that damage repaired.
For those following along, net code is, these cars were running very close to begin with, but what's a good way to explain that? Net code, when you're right up on somebody, it shows your car reacts like somebody hit you a lot harder than they did or whatnot. Sometimes they don't even have to touch, but we say there's net coded, and right now until Tyler figures out that there was net code, I'm sure he's very upset with Daniel Collins. But watching that replay several times, I don't think that was any fault of Daniel Collins. So I call that a net code.
Yeah, ultimately the net code, iRacing, the simulator, uses a predictive coding to anticipate where somebody else's car is going to be, and sometimes where iRacing thinks the car is going to end up and where the car actually is are two different things, and you'll basically hit an imaginary car or a part of somebody's car that doesn't belong there. So it's just one of those that it's an online simulation. You're going to have some of those connection problems. Looking here, I'm curious if we're going to have any issues in terms of Nick Anderson with a little bit of damage on that right rear of the spoiler.
Sure.
So.
Yeah, there's a little bit of damage there on that right rear spoiler of Anderson's car as the pace truck ducks off. Chad Ruggie back to green flag, jumps out to a nice sizable lead there on the start of this race. Michael Lake on the high side, able to take over that second position from Rodney Merritts.
I looked like he wasn't wasting any time and immediately jumped to the outside of Mitch Stiles and Nolan Anderson as he's caught behind Nick Anderson now. Oh, Nick gets a little bit of contact with Daniel Collins there. Nolan with the... Tyler's in a bit of an Anderson sandwich here. We got tight racing all over the place. We got the 54s battling at the back. You see Rod Merritt's falling back a little bit. We've said that in the past about him, that he...
is Anderson in the back of Rodney Merritt. That was Nolan Anderson in the back, which puts the 54 of Nick Anderson in the back of the 728 of Nolan Anderson. All kind of
big old shot in the shorts
here. Yeah.
And I think these guys forgot it's 60 laps. They're racing like there's 6 laps to go.
It is 60 laps, and do see a little bit of front nose piece damage now on the 54 of Nick Anderson. Nick, you're running in the I believe 9th position right now, so we're going 3 wide in front of Nick Anderson here. Rodney Merritt's, Mitch Stiles, Nolan Anderson.
Makes you wonder how much of what he has going on is just the difference with being in dirty air. You know, last week he started on the outside pole, jumped up to a quick lead, and drove away. Really didn't have to worry about traffic until he started catching some lap cars.
Sure.
As we see Chad Ruggie out to about a 2-second lead here, so makes you wonder if that clean air means something on these deep dirt cars. As Tyler Ruggie, after bringing out our last cautions, now battling for the 2nd place position with Michael Lake.
Tyler down onto the inside there.
He's gonna hug that berm, roll around the bottom. Daniel Collins is gonna look middle 3 wide. He thinks better of it, falls back in line behind the 27.
Tyler Ruggie now able to make that pass as now Daniel Collins will follow. Oh, he gets into the side of the 27 of Michael Lake there. Scares Michael out of the throttle there for a split second.
Lake's gonna throw it back to the high side and let her eat and go right on by. As
I think
Tyler has...
Go ahead.
Tyler's cleared the battle behind him for 3rd and sets his sights on his old man. And last couple laps, he's been a couple tenths quicker a lap. So we'll see how quickly he can shrink this 2-second gap.
I was just going to mention there the way Michael Lake come back up onto the 26 of Daniel Collins there. I mean, Michael Lake, one of those guys, always up on the wheel, but you want to see him get up on the wheel a little further? Go ahead and put your tire into his door once. You'll see Michael Lake climb up that wheel just a little bit more as he gets up there and able to get back around Daniel Collins and just kind of pull away as Michael's now pulling the 15 of Austin Barr with him.
Yeah, it's one of those, it doesn't matter if it's in the sim or out in the real car in the ULMS series. You'll see Michael Lake throw it up on the boards, and definitely one that you can tell how he's feeling in the car by how the car is driving.
Sure. Checking back here in the field on the 54 of Nick Anderson, still in that 9th position. Just behind the 728 of Nolan Anderson there. Obviously, some damage on that Anderson car, I would believe. I think that is. Just not able to make anything happen here.
He's pretty consistently been about 3 tenths off the pace of our leaders. Right there with his brother. So that's definitely not a position as we see Blaze Harrison pop in and out of there. So that's got to be something else terrifying for these two is, where is he? Is that something that he's gonna pop up in the middle of a battle here and you don't know where he's at? I'm surprised he
finally able to get around the 728 of Nolan Anderson. Nolan Anderson battles back on that bottom side and was able to make that pass. Nick moving up to that 8th position. Still out front. putting on a schooling here. The 94 of Chad Rugy.
The only thing that I worry about with Chad is sometimes he gets a little excited and burns up that right rear, and if he's not careful, Tyler's going to be right there to pounce on him, as he's cut that gap in half over the last 4 or 5 laps here. Definitely a difference in styles, as you see Chad rolling the marbles and
The yellow flag is
Oh,
out.
yellow
Caution
flag.
out here, lap 21. Caution out.
does look like something in Daniel Collins. Looks like he got into
Oh yeah, Daniel Collins
3
into
and
the
4 and
outside wall. Yeah. Yep.
just jumped the cushion and into the wall, and once he got in there he couldn't get off, and it looks like it might have broke the right front on him. So
Definitely having trouble turning left here, so Daniel will lift that thing back to the pit here, see if they can get any repairs in the time that they give him.
did a really good job keeping it up in that outside wall, not coming down into any of the other competitors trying to get by him. So, great respectable move from him that, we've all seen in official races that you don't have the same luxury. You see somebody get into the wall and they take as many cars with them as they can. Looks like Nick
So
Anderson is back in the elevated outdoors hot pit along with Daniel Collins, trying to get some repairs to those 2 machines.
Chad Rugy definitely didn't want to see that caution come out. I mean, ton of racing left. We still have what 30, 36, 37 laps to go here, so there's a ton of racing. But Chad was out there kind of cruising. Tyler was gaining a little bit of ground on him each lap, nothing major, but now everybody's going to be hot on the tail here. The 94 of Chad Rugy, and as you mentioned a little bit ago, in the past, Chad Rugy, maybe feeling a little bit of pressure, previous races, things like that. Now he knows that he's got a wasp nest of hungry drivers behind him here.
We'll have to
See
see
how
if we
they
have
shoot.
any Rugy rumbling here on the restart
No,
between.
we wouldn't see any of that, I don't think.
Yeah, no, never. Tyler throwing a haymaker from 4 lanes back. But we got everyone bunched up here. We'll have to see what the 94R out of Clearfield can do, as the green flag is
Green,
back
green,
in the air.
green.
Nice start for the 94 of Chad Rugy.
Tell you what, Mitch Stiles has worked his way up to that 5th position, looking on the outside of Austin Barr, trying to take P4 as it catches the wall there a little bit, lose a little bit of momentum. Ooh, we're getting
Contact,
tight.
54 and the 15. Michael Lake got her singing out there on the, when I say the outside, I mean the outside for
Yeah.
Michael Lake.
Michael Lake any further on the outside, and that right rear's on the exterior of the catch fence.
Yeah, any further outside, he'd be in the front row eating some popcorn, having a Miller Lake, that's for sure.
Looks like he makes his way around the outside into 2nd place, getting around Tyler Rugy. Tell you what, we got battles all over the track. Looks like Nick Anderson was able to get some repairs. His pace looks a little bit more what we're used to seeing.
You got a battle for the lead here. Mike Blake down on the bottom side of the 94 of Chad Rugy here on lap 27.
Oh,
Not able to get her done. That outside momentum will allow him to get through. He's going through the center here. Michael Lake eating back on the outside. Gets a big run coming down her straightaway. Throws her back down to the bottom. Will we see a slider? We won't. Chad Rugy able to keep the outside moving there. Will maintain lead here for the time being. Now we got
Tyler's
Tyler
looking to the
Rugy
bottom.
down on the bottom here.
We got 3 cars under a blanket here for the lead. I was waiting for Lake to take it the middle of 3. And our rookie of the evening, making his debut. Mitch Stiles, after running really well and making that mistake in the heat race, had to come from the back, and he's moved his way up to 4th and hanging tough with some of the guys that, week in, week out last year definitely showed speed in this class. So we still have a 3-car battle going on here for the lead. Is nobody's given an inch, and Lake, I just don't think has any room to go anywhere. He can't go high. Chad's there. Can't go low. Tyler's there. He still finds a way to go about a lane higher.
Yeah, Chad's got to hear him back there, because I can tell, not consistent laps as far as positioning on the track, as now he can see Son Tyler on the inside of him there.
We'll see. Tyler's going to throw the slider.
There's a slider.
Chad's going to cross him over. Are we going to see the Rougy rumble? Chad's going to throw it back. Tyler crosses him over.
Tyler.
And repeat. Well, it looks like Chad chose to stay to the high side. That's going to give Tyler the advantage, as now Lake is looking to the inside of that 94.
Is he going to go to Jufer?
Oh,
No.
a
little bit of contact there. Michael Lake and Chad Rougy. Michael Lake will take over that 2nd position.
Oh, I thought Lake was going to throw a haymaker there.
Mitch Stiles up into that 4th position. Nick Anderson now breaks into the top 5.
That's definitely not something anyone in this field wanted to see, is that 54 star getting the speed back in it.
Nick Anderson throws a slide job on the other 54. Will he make it work? Gets in front
Oh!
of him. Barely. Mitch Stiles battles back on the
Stiles.
eye. He'll throw it again.
Mitch Stiles power move on the outside, crosses him over. Wow, we got battles all over the place. We got a battle with Austin Barr and
with the 54s. Mitch Stiles will take that position back.
Barr and Merritts are battling. We got the battle of the 54s. We got the battle at the front that's still there. Is Michael Lake looking to the inside, trying something a little different from what we've seen him do all race so far.
Chad Rougy not letting these guys get out there too far, able to keep those guys plain in view here. So they're in a strong 3rd position.
Oh! Looks like Nick Anderson caught a whole lot of berm there trying to... Oh!
Oh, we got cars.
Wow.
We got contact back here with Austin Barr, Nick Anderson, Mitch Stiles.
I don't know where to look.
Contact.
It's like this battle back here, the 4-car battle for the 4th position.
Nick Anderson
Oh, Nick caught a little bit of the berm, pushes right up into Barr, and
holy smokes.
oh, he's still. And you see Mitch Stiles making out like a bandit there in both of that. He's like, thank you very much. Yeah, Rod is doing Rod things, and he dropped back a little bit, and he's starting his march
those
forward.
Other 3 were doing, and said, "I'm getting the hell out of here." He said he had nothing to do with that. But,
looking here, lap times are just one on top of each other in those top 4. Things have, I don't want to use the C word, but
yeah, I was going to say the same thing.
I don't know what to say. I don't want to do the commentator curse. Twice in 2 weeks I said something, and then we have calamity.
Hey, what the heck? We're not out there. Go ahead and say it. Things seem to calm down here a little bit. And Tyler Rougy now leading this race. Michael Lake 2nd. Chad Rougy 3rd. Rod Merritt's 4th. Mitch Stiles. Nick Anderson, Austin Barr, Nolan Anderson, Daniel Collins.
So we're working on lap 45 of 60. This time by here at the flag, we will have 15 laps to go.
Mitch Stiles catches a bunch of outside wall there all by himself. Just touched it with the right rear quarter, but sent that right front up into the wall pretty hard, able to go on to that 5th position now as Anderson and Barr catch up to the backside of Mitch Stiles. Austin Barr looking to the inside of Anderson. Anderson's got a handful. He's into the wall a whole bunch of times here. And I think just must be a handful.
Yeah, that thing's definitely worse for the wear between the contact earlier in the race and just as much as he's gotten into the wall, and that right rear is definitely showing some usage.
Not sure what happened back there towards the tail of our field, but Daniel Collins able to get up to that 8th position and open up quite a distance between the 9th place car of Nolan Anderson.
Looks like here our battle for 5th through 7th still is the best on track, but wasn't sure if Austin Barr just got a little tight there or might have had a little help. Oh, he got squirrely. He got crossed up. But those three are able to keep the shiny side up and the greasy side down and moving forward. As our leaders, I think, here before too long are going to be catching the tail of the field here.
Yep, we are within 10 to go here. We're working lap 51 of 60. Tyler Ruggie out to a pretty decent, comfortable lead. Michael Lake trying different lines here in the speedway, trying to find something here just to gain a little bit of track position. And
I think the biggest thing's just going to be how they catch Nolan, and
yeah,
Nolan's catching a little bit of berm there, and Tyler's been running the bottom.
Sure. Yep. What kind of line is Nolan going to hold? Could definitely be a factor here. This looks like Tyler should be able to get right by him here in the straightaway.
Tyler's looking to the outside. Yep, Nolan catches berm. Michael Lake's going to look underneath him. There's more contact.
Michael Lake to the inside of our leader, Tyler Ruggie, here with 6 to go. Nolan played a little factor there, maybe. But nonetheless, Michael Lake able to now just near be 1-2 car lengths off, door to door here in the corners. Tyler does pull away slightly on these straightaways with that outside speed. But we're going to have a race here with 5 to go. Michael Lake on the bottom side.
It's going to depend. Are they going to catch Collins? Sure. Is that going to be another factor?
Yep.
Is Michael Lake looking to the inside?
Sure. Michael's going to get one of these runs here one of these times. What lap's he going to pick to throw that slider? Michael Lake with great car control. With the closing stages here of this race here, Michael Lake trying everything he can just to get up on the back spoiler there of 96 of Tyler Ruggie. As Michael Lake now looking down at the bottom. He doesn't throw that slider, but they're door to door coming out of the corner here as we got working on 2 to go.
And we'll be coming to. Flagman's got the popsicle sticks in the air. 2 to go. We'll see. Daniel Collins is going to play a factor.
He's going to have to throw that slider just to get on the upside of Daniel Collins here soon. He's not going to have enough room on the bottom. Is that slider?
Oh, there it is.
He doesn't block the hole. He leaves some space.
He's definitely got his nose there.
There he goes. He's going to sprint those guys. What a move, Michael Lake. Back down in the center of the track, though. We're going to be 3 wide.
Oh, Tyler's going to look all the way to the bottom. He's going to throw a 2-for-1 slider. He's not going to make it.
Race is over. We missed the
flag. Holy crap. Michael Lake
pulls off a barn burner here. Week number 2 here at Knoxville.
Definitely polar opposites to what we saw last week. We saw one car kind of walk the dog on the field, and this week we had a barn burner. as our podium will be Michael Lake in the 27 here out of Uniontown, parking it in the back road powder coating victory lane. Tyler Rugy will come home second. Rod Merritts will bring it home in that third place position. Yeah, looks like our newcomer might have had some trouble here on the last lap or the closing laps. He was slowing off the pace. I think he just didn't want to play a factor.
So who do we have here for our Newcomb Automotive hard charge of the race? Looking here real quick. Looks to be, we got 5th to 1st for Michael Lake. We got,
I think that's going to be the hard charger. Up 4 positions, 5th to 1st. Tyler went 4th to 2nd. Okay, so Michael Lake here in back road powder coating victory lane and the Newcomb Automotive hard charger of the race. As I believe he is out of the car and here in victory lane. Wow, Michael, what a race. What a battle. Tell us your side of it there in those closing laps.
Man, I didn't know what was going to happen there. I'll be honest with you. I had a good piece. Tyler had a really good car. He rolled. I know he was in the pits, and they got his car fixed up, and he rolled from the tail, I think, up to the lead. So, he had a really good piece there in the beginning. My car was really good. I don't think he knew the bottom was there in 1 and 2, so I was able to keep rolling it. It was just really hard to hit. But yeah, I was lucky enough to get to hit it a few times, the way I needed to, and then we rolled up on Daniel there, and man, things got a little bit hairy. I know we made a little bit of contact, and I didn't want to do that, but I think it was just everybody gone for the same piece of real estate on the last lap, especially with a lap car there in the mix of everything. So I'm sure it made it interesting, and hopefully it was a good show.
Definitely a good show. We were watching there as you guys were catching Daniel, and we knew that could possibly be a factor in the finish of that race. And when you threw that slider there, pretty much had to get around Daniel, and it just worked out perfect to put that slider on Tyler. But yeah, definitely what a show that we had from here in the stands. But pretty impressive, that's for sure.
Yeah, I knew the top was good there. That's where Tyler was primarily running in 1 and 2, and I figured it was going to be not the best slider that I could have thrown right there because I had entered in the middle and tried to not clip Daniel. So if hopefully
under those circumstances,
yeah.
where the cars were on the track, it definitely could have been a lot worse. You did what you had to do, and everybody stayed straight. So just call that one hell of a race. So congratulations, Michael. Anybody you'd like to thank while you're up here?
Yeah, you guys for doing this deal and giving us fun gig to do, and for everybody to watch, especially during the off season. So it keeps everything entertaining and not let it get too stale. So without you guys, none of it would be possible. So then everybody, on the car, everybody that helps with the sets and whatnot. So hopefully we'll get back into it here pretty heavy, and hope pick up a few more people and keep rolling.
Well, congratulations, Michael. Good to see you back up here. Might as well give you a quick second to throw out some in real life stuff. You got anything else coming up here on schedule, Mike?
We're supposed to head to Atomic this Friday and Saturday for the Valvoline Ironman series. And then the following weekend, we're headed to Georgetown and Potomac for those 2 last races. And that's a wrap for the 25 season.
Alrighty. Well, congratulations again, Michael. Good luck this coming weekend in the real car, and we'll see you back again next Tuesday.
Sounds good. I appreciate it. Thank you guys again, and catch y'all in a week.
All right, and out of the car, our runner-up finisher here, Tyler Rugy. Talk us through those closing laps here between you, Lake, and Collins as the lap car definitely came into play for that battle there at the end.
Well, I definitely didn't lead the one that counted. Um, I'll start there. But that was just one of them things where, man, I was trying so many different lanes. I got to the lead, kind of running the bottom, and then once you get out there, you think, where do I really need to be? And now I look, I see that he was making that bottom work again. It kind of felt like it went away on the restart, and then it came back, and I got around them guys, and I thought, well, if I can just kind of run the middle, because I didn't know how good the top was going to be, and it was just one of them things where, you were kind of a sitting duck, and I was looking at the times, and I saw, I mean, he was inching. He was 9, 7 tenths, and I'm like, gosh, man. And he caught me, and he did everything he needed to do. There was absolutely nothing that he done that I wouldn't have done. And honestly, he probably gave me more room than I would have gave him. So props to him for passing me clean in that situation.
Well, Tyler, you had to drop back there. You did go in the pit there, I believe. Is that correct? You came back. You started at the tail end of the field and made her all the way back up through. Just tell us about some of the things you've seen on your way up through.
Yeah, it was I started there and I just kind of wanted to ride, and then I don't know if Daniel caught my door a little bit or what happened, but I got hit in the left side and it just shoved me straight to the wall. So I'm like, lap two, I was just gonna try and regroup, and I was gonna take a caution, and then it appears that Nick had nowhere to go and completely got my left side door, and I feel bad for him. But yeah, I think I got a little contact and I kind of shot up. And when I went into pits, I had 4 minutes of optional repairs. I know it said I had wheel damage, and I got about a minute. So I had 3 minutes left. So I don't know if that ended up hurting me here in the end when it came to tires or not. But there was a lot of things. There was a couple. I got around Nick when he had to lift, and just there was a lot of moving parts. And I had to try and run down Dad and the caution, and just a lot of stuff happening. But I thought, man, maybe I'll be able to hold old Lake off. But I don't know if that damage had anything to do with it, but either way, it was a good race, and he got around me clean. So I'll take second after, the night it started.
Absolutely. Definitely quite a show there. The last them closing laps. Congratulations on a strong second place finish. Anyone you want to thank while you're up here?
Yeah, I want to thank Nick for this wrap that he made me. I'm running right now from last year, and he made me a new one that I'm planning on taking out on some specials. So just want to thank him. And I'm glad that I beat him tonight. Finally somebody beat him, even though Lake beat him better than me. But we finally beat him, so we made it. We proved to the world that we can beat him. But yeah, I just want to thank him for all the wraps, and then all of our sponsors, a part of this league. Whenever we started a couple years ago, me and Dad, we never thought it'd become this, and it's awesome to be running side by side with a real super late model driver. So it's awesome, the respect that everybody has, and I'm excited to announce the next two.
Well, Tyler, congratulations on a strong finish, and we'll see you back next week.
Alrighty, thank you guys.
All right, that'll wrap up an exciting week 2 here at Knoxville. So I believe next week we are at a new venue. I'm trying to recall what was next on the schedule. Here we go. So the Supers will tail the show next week. I'll be running a 70 lap event from Lucas Oil. So we'll look forward to a new venue to do some battle on, and look forward to some exciting racing like what we've seen the first 2 weeks here.
Well, we're all going to reset here, and that'll do it for the Harrison Brothers Welding Fabrication Super Late models. We'll do a reset, and we'll be back with the Big Block Modifieds.